Hey there, friends. Pastor Drew here with just a quick update for you as far as the Gig Harbor church plant is concerned. We've made it through the year of 2020. We've made it through the holiday season, and now that maybe we've had a little bit of a chance to breathe and rest after Christmas and New Year's and all of that, maybe your mind is turning toward, oh yeah, we've talked kind of about planting a church in Gig Harbor, but I don't know very much about that. Maybe it's time for me to start learning more and considering more about how to be involved in Resurrection Church Gig Harbor as we begin the planting process. And there are just a few ways that you can participate in that right now, even if you're not sure about your future with the church plant, even if you're not sure, whether you'll be part of the Tacoma congregation that sends us, or whether you'll be part of the church plant that gets sent. There's ways for everyone to be participating right now, and I just want to take a minute to share those with you. The first is to join a life group if you're not already in one. These used to be called discipleship groups. We're now calling them life groups because really they're about doing life together. And that's what we just really want to make clear. And so if you're not yet in a life group, I would say join one. Find out which life group your friend is in and join that one. Or reach out to me, or you can go on the church website. There's actually a link in the email that I sent out that this video was in, where you can just click the link and it'll take you to a whole list of all the life groups, and you can filter groups by like day of the week and time they meet and whether there's childcare and all kinds of different stuff. And so don't miss an opportunity to do life together with brothers and sisters in the family that is Resurrection Church. If you have any questions or problems getting signed up for a group, just reach out to me, because I would love to help you with that. There is room for you in a group, and if there's not, I want to help make room for you in a group. The other way that's kind of the main way to be participating in the church plant right now is by attending the prayer and interest meetings. Now, I want to make really clear again, these are not just for people who know they want to be part of the church plant. These interest meetings are an open door to anyone, even people that aren't even yet Christians, even people that don't attend Resurrection Church, just anyone that would want to hear, why are we planting another church? Why do we need a new church in Gig Harbor? How are we planning on doing that? All of those sorts of things. That's what we'll be talking about at these interest meetings. Now, our next interest meetings are next weekend, Saturday the 16th and Sunday the 17th of January. On Saturday, on the 16th, we're going to be doing a Zoom-only interest meeting. I've kind of realized that I haven't done a great job of including all the folks that aren't comfortable yet gathering together in any kind of larger setting. And I'm sorry for that, and I want to help you have an opportunity to participate more fully. And so from now on, whenever we have an in-person meeting, I'm also going to try to have a Zoom meeting either the day before or the day after. So next weekend, Saturday is going to be a Zoom meeting. Sunday will be an in-person meeting for those who are comfortable. And really that invite is just to come and hear and come with your questions and come with your ideas, all that kind of stuff. Come meet people that you might live within a mile of who have been at Resurrection maybe even longer than you and you don't know them yet. Let's come together and build relationship and build a vision for what the Lord might be doing. This morning I was reading a little bit of the story of Elijah, the prophet Elijah, in the book of 1 Kings. And usually when I think of Elijah, I think of calling down fire and kind of like making fun of Baal and that story, his calling of Elisha. But what I was reading this morning was his time in the wilderness when the Lord was sending ravens in the morning and in the evening to bring him food. He was completely dependent. The Lord told him to go into the wilderness, and so he did, but he didn't have any means of providing for himself, but God sent ravens to bring food. And then from there, God tells him to go to a foreign widow who will feed him. And when he meets this widow, he finds out that all she has in her cupboard is a half-full jar of flour and a half-full bottle of oil. And in fact, she doesn't even think she has enough food to survive the week, much less feed this prophet of God. But yet, God multiplies the flour and the oil and continues to feed not only the widow but also her son and Elijah. And Elijah lived this way for 3 years, completely dependent on God for provision and for food. For 3 years between the wilderness and the widow's house. And what struck me is that kind of toward the end of the story with the widow, her son actually dies. And Elijah prays to God, and God gives the boy new life. And if Elijah hadn't followed where God told him to go, if Elijah had said, no, I'm not sure what that would be like. That doesn't feel safe and secure to me. That doesn't feel like something I can control. There's so many unknown things. I don't really know if that's what I want to do. Where will I get my food? If Elijah had done that, this boy never would have received new life. See, friends, our job in planting a church is not to go and do all the things that we can do. Elijah didn't really do anything to survive these 3 years. He simply followed where God was calling him. Friends, God is calling us to plant a church, a community that serves as a gospel outpost in Gig Harbor. And the purpose of us doing that is not for us to, by our own work to make something miraculous happen. Rather, it's for us to respond to where God is calling us to go and allow Him to make something miraculous happen in this city where we live and work and learn and play. And so that's what we're all being invited to. And that's what this interest meeting next weekend is going to really focus on. So I would just ask you to consider, God is calling us as Resurrection Church to plant a new church in Gig Harbor where more and more people can experience resurrection life. And I'll just ask you, how will you participate? What will that look like for you? Consider that, and I hope to see you next weekend at the interest meeting. Take care.